to Let's Talk Wild. Your girl Tay here, and today I'm bringing you another Vet Tech Chronicles, okay, where we, discuss my journey of being a vet tech, okay. So today is episode 2. We're gonna get into the interview process, the working interview, interactions with staff, and things like that, okay. So follow me on all social media at Let's Talk Wild, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. Give your girl a like, a subscribe, a thumbs up, all of that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Episode 2, we're going to start with the interview, okay? I'm going to cut this music off. The interview process. Let's start with hygiene. Guys, make sure that you don't have long nails. Working as a vet tech, your nails break constantly, and you can't scruff a cat, restrain of an aggressive cat if you have long coffin nails. So for the girls out there that can't give up having those fake long nails or just long nails in general, this may not be the job for you, because eventually you're gonna have to take those nails off to properly restrain cats, okay? And if you break one, like trying to restrain a dog or anything of that nature, it can be very, very painful. So no long nails. Back in the day, I used to wear long nails to high school. I used to get all different types of styles and stuff, but I wanted to be a vet tech. So it doesn't bother me. It didn't bother me because I was like, I already got my long nail, phase out the way. Now I'm just all natural long nails. Nothing on it, no clear polish, nothing. I just let my nails naturally grow. However, a lot of the vet techs, we would just paint our regular nails on our own, or sometimes if it was like something special going on. I know a couple of the white vet techs, they would hook it up, girl. They would have the daggone acrylic nails on, not the acrylic nails, the press-on nails, their little press-on nails, and it would be everything. Yes. And then once it was time to go back to work after the weekend, them things, suckers, they would pluck them right off. So, yeah, but when you're working as a vet tech, hand hygiene is very important. You're constantly washing your hands. So if you're not washing dishes at home, because even though some of them say that's a myth, but I could say it's true in my opinion. When you're constantly washing dishes and stuff, like, I don't know, it helps with nail growth for some reason. It just does. But constantly washing your hands at the hospital when you're working, your nails you're gonna get long naturally on their own, so don't trip. You can have it at a decent length, paint them yourself, and then you gotta clip them down, girl. Oh boy. Hair. Okay, so hair, make sure your hair is neat and like tied back. Because the thing is, you don't want to look disheveled like with your hair and stuff, because when you're restraining animals and talking to people and talking to the doctors and talking to the clients, you don't want that hair in the way. You really don't want long hair in the way. I always kept my hair in a bun, or two braids, but you don't want hair getting in the way of the doctor trying to draw blood. You don't want you're trying to get blood on a patient, and you have someone restraining for you, and you go in to stick and your hair just falls over and then just lands on where you're ready to stick your needle at in the dog's or cat's vein. So keep your hair up. That's what I would recommend. Be polite and avoid any extra overbearing tones, okay? Because that's like one thing, like the tone. People like to listen to your tone, but don't be overly like don't be like, I mean, you could be regular, like standard, but don't be too overbearing, because people think that's aggressive. And if you're a black woman, I'm sorry to say, it's sad to say, that you have to be extra very vigilant on how your tone is, because they love labeling us the angry black woman, or they deem us as aggressive because we're black women, and that's just a given, and that's just not in the vet tech community. It's all over the world in every field. That just comes with being a black person. They always assume that you're aggressive when you have, a certain tone. But being a black person, we just have a tone sometimes. And I just, it is, for me, it's like, that's my tone is my tone because of my ancestors. They've been through a lot. So they come out through me. So it may seem, aggressive. It is what it is. But for you guys that are not, got your foot in the door, nothing. You can't show none of that, okay? So, the working interview. Number 1 rule, don't be on your phone. Do not be on your phone, because that sends red flags, okay? Put your phone up. Put your phone up. I've experienced so many new hires just on their phone, like, girl, can you help us? Can you do something? Can you? And that's another thing. Ask if if there are things that need to be done. If you can help someone with something, ask questions. Don't just be standing around, because sometimes people start when it's slow days. Or clients might call out and you might have a slow day when you're supposed to be training, and you rarely have something to do. But ask questions, learn about stuff, ask questions. That's what I did when I first started. I was asking questions. So what's this machine? So what does this do? Oh, well, I know the machine and I know what it does, but how long does it have to be running for this machine? Okay, what's this? You need to be asking questions, because if you're gonna make this your profession, you need to know everything you could get to know, everything you need to know from different people. I will say that I had senior technicians train me, so I was trained very well. Technicians that were in the game for a very long time and comfortable enough where I believe that they would never leave the profession. And so I was trained really good by some great technicians. So shout out to them. Okay. So you might be preparing vaccines, talking to clients, cleaning the hospital, learning of, medications for pets and stuff like that, learning about when the animals get certain vaccines and stuff like that. Just a little standard stuff. But this is the stuff you'll be observing and watching usually when your tech is showing you around the hospital and what you will do. And also, if they have a kennel, you may be doing kennel work. Sometimes you have to graduate. You got to do the kennel stuff first, and then you can do the drawing of the blood and stuff like that when you're trained enough. That's where I started. I started as a kennel tech and worked my way up to a vet tech. So I was a kennel tech, then a kennel manager, and then a vet tech. But then I was still the vet tech and the kennel manager at the same time. So you might be walking dogs. You might be picking up poop. You might be, medicating and feeding boarders and stuff like that. But that's what comes with it. And, if this is what you want to do, that's what you're going to do. Okay? Okay. So being scared and seeing aggressive animals, watching staff restrain aggressive animals. It's okay to be nervous, but you need to fully understand this is not a shelter. This isn't a shelter where people just come in and to adopt the animals and all you have to do is walk them and feed them and stuff like that. This is a medical practice, and you will have to deal with animals that are aggressive. There's no getting around it. period. So if you can't handle a cat hissing and screaming at you, or a dog lunging at you or trying to bite you, this is not the profession for you. I've seen a lot of hires come in and really like cry. They're like crying in the back because they're like so scared, and they never witnessed a technician, hurry up and scruff a cat by his neck and lay it on his side so it can't bite anybody. Or, you gotta muzzle a dog. Or, like I said in the first episode, the owners that believe that their animals are so sweet and they're not. And you have to tell these people that they must muzzle their animals. Or you have to restrain these animals enough to sedate them, to even touch them, or, well, not touch them, but do anything to them. Sometimes it is to before you can touch them. Sometimes doctors have to send home medications for the animals to take so they could be a little sedated before they come into the hospital. But you will see that. And eventually, if you want to be a vet tech and you want to be hands-on with this stuff, you are going to have to restrain a crazy dog, and you're going to have to restrain a cat. Is no getting around it. And I had some, like I said, the technicians that trained me, they didn't play. They did proper animal restraint more than any other hospital I ever worked at. My second practice that I worked for several years, they, and the ones that really, trained me, they, hats off to them, because that training that they taught me really has, saved some fingers from getting bit by a dog. Saved me from getting bit viciously by, feral cats and stuff of that nature. So if you are not going to be able to handle aggressiveness from these animals, this is not the profession for you. And, people help out. You have staff that come and help out, if the animal is too aggressive. But if they are doing other appointments with other doctors, you have to be ready to, do what you need to do so this animal could get the medical treatment it needs and protect you and the doctor from getting hurt and the animal from getting hurt as well. That's like one of the main things. I've seen so many new hires just cry, man, because they really thought it was going to be peaches and cream, and just like, oh yeah. Like, no, it don't work like that. Hey y'all still tuned in? Follow me on all social media at Let's Talk Wild. You may see and smell gross stuff, blood, stool, vomit, and last but not least, anal gland expressions that may squirt on you by accident, okay? The dogs and cats, usually it's done on dogs, occasionally done on cats, but they have these glands in their anals that you have to squeeze, and sometimes they squirt on the walls, squirt on you, squirt on the doctor. It's just a lot. But if you're sensitive to smells, or you're not into seeing blood or vomit or diarrhea or any of that stuff, this is not the profession for you, okay? Sometimes people bring in decaying animals that they found so we can just bag. A lot of the feral cat colony people that have feral cat colonies in certain states and neighborhoods, they will bring in a cat that they may have found that, is decomposing, and the smell could really reek, okay? The most worst smell for vet techs, I think we all can agree, is puppies and dogs that get parvo when they're really young. It's a really fatal disease. Dogs can get it if they don't get their vaccinations and stuff like that. We'll dive into vaccinations in later episodes, but that smell of the animal vomiting, diarrhea, it just smells horrible, and you have to be there. Sometimes when somebody's bringing in their animal, to euthanize them, to put them down, these animals could have big old lumps on their bodies that's burst open, and you have to sit there and still hold the animal for the doctor so they can euthanize them, but still smell the abscess and all of that stuff coming out. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if you're sensitive to smells or any of that, not the job for you, honey. It's not the job for you. So I really want you guys to really understand that, and help these things that I'm telling you with your decision to being a vet tech. Now the staff will ask you questions. Staff is nosy, especially with new hires. We want to know where you're from, what you've been doing, Really not me. I'm not like that. I'm a Scorpio. I'm like laid back, sit back. I really don't care. I really don't care like about any of that. The turnover rate in the vet community is so bad. Like, people get hired and not even really fired. People get hired and they quit a lot. So it's always like technicians coming in and going. But I learned to not like put all my eggs in a basket, and not really get to know people that much unless they show signs that they are serious and want to stay at the practice and really do this as a profession, because I'm not wasting my time getting to know you. And it's like, girl, you finna call out when it's just me and you working. And I'm gonna be mad because you're gonna call out, because this isn't really something that you want to do. Like, I don't want to be buddy with you, and you're gonna leave the staff hanging because you don't want to do this. But instead of saying you don't want the job, you just keep calling out. And somebody has to tell you, okay, if you call out, you just got hired. You literally just got hired, and you're already calling out within a month, 2 months in. No, that's not cool. And that we'll talk about calling out and stuff later on and down in more episodes, okay? So follow me on all social media so you guys can stay up to date with the new episodes. Follow me on Twitch and YouTube, okay? Yeah. Staff may ask for not ask, but they will try to look you up on social media. Like, they will try to look you up on social media, see what's going on with you. So before you even put in a application, make your Facebook and all your social medias private. Period. Because they'll try to find you and see what you're about and stuff like that. And you don't want to be judged off, what somebody may have posted on your story and you might have laughed, or you just don't want that. Like, judge me based off, what I can do professionally in the workspace. So make sure you guys lock up all the social media and delete stuff that you don't want people to see if you don't want to lock it up. Warnings from other staff. See how the staff acts. Observe. Are they happy? Are they complaining? Are they overworked? Okay. This will help you choose if you're offered the position, if you want to accept the job or not, basically. I've started some jobs at some hospitals, and I had automatically on my first day have a staff member spilled the beans on everything, told me everything that was going on, told me so much. Make sure you take a picture of your time clock when you clock it in. Make sure you check all your money. Make sure you get all your hours. When they come back from out of town, make sure you have your money. Make sure this doctor doesn't try to take off your x-ray gown for you, because he's known for doing that, trying to take the x-ray gown off of the women technicians when they can do it themselves. Like, I don't need your help. Yeah, so I've had like technicians tell me all of that on the first day, because this person does not know what they're walking into, and I appreciate them for letting me know, so it could mentally prepare me for what was going to happen if I stayed at the job. And I'm glad that they told me that, because the things that those women were telling me actually came true, and I experienced. First day. Oh, he's gonna treat you like a groundskeeper and not a vet tech. Supposed to be doing vet tech work, but he's gonna ask you to sand walls and mow the lawn and do stuff that is not in your job description. And we will get into that stuff later on in more episodes, because you have the right to say no to doing that stuff. You ain't no handy person. You're a vet tech. You're supposed to be there handling animals, not handling wielding a lawnmower and handy tools and all of that, and fixing doors and all. That's not your job description. It's not. And you ain't got to do it. Period. You have the right to say no. That is not part of your job description. You are not a handyman. You understand? Okay, I'm glad y'all understand that. But yeah, so that's like the first process, like things that like usually you'll witness and happen to you when you go in for an interview, a working interview. As far as my interviews, how they went and stuff like that, my interviews went well. All of my interviews went well for like private practices. The one, I think they all went well. But some hospital, you just got to see what you're getting yourself into, because some hospitals are just that, like strictly a hospital. And, others have a kennel where they have boarders and stuff like that with the hospital. So that's even extra work. So you just understanding, which lane you want to be in. Are you okay with doing kennel work? Are you okay picking up dog poop? Some people, oh my goodness, would be so embarrassed to go outside to pick up the dog poop with the pooper scooper. Like, I love just going outside and scooping the poop. I didn't even care, because it was time to go outside and decompress, because eventually later on down the line, things started happening to me that made me start, thinking about changing my profession, because it was a lot. It was a lot, and we'll get into that in episodes later on down the line. It's going to be very emotional, because you wouldn't expect these things to happen. You're like, oh, the vet, he's so sweet. He or she is so sweet. They love animals. They can do no wrong. And the whole time, behind closed doors, they treat their staff like trash. Like trash. The people that help hold up at this facility and get things done, you treat them like trash. You try to control them. You try to manipulate them. And it's not right. But like I said, we'll get into all of that later on down the line. I just want people to understand, like, this is a serious profession, and you have to have love for cats and dogs and animals and stuff like that to do this job. If you don't love cats and dogs and stuff like that, don't do it. If you're trying to do a quick money grab and don't do it, because you have to have passion for it. And like I said, the turnover rate is really high for vet techs. A lot of them quit and go because they see what really happens and they get treated poorly. So, you just gotta be ready. And I'm not saying that all vet hospitals are bad. Some of them are good. But for the ones that I worked at, it was always something. It was always something. Always something. And it messed with my mental health for a very long time, for years. And I dealt with it for so long because my love for the animals was so strong, guys. My patience, it's just, I don't want to get emotional. I am going to get emotional, but I'm not going to cry because my makeup is too gorge tonight. But it's just, I'll save the tears for future episodes. But, just know what you're getting yourself into. And that's all I can say. I'm really happy how this episode turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Episode 2 of the Vet Tech Chronicles, the interview process, okay? Follow me on all social media at LetsTalkWild. Give me a thumbs up, a follow, a like, a share. Follow me on YouTube, subscribe on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. Y'all already know. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you so much. And I hope this is helping with your vet tech journey. Okay. It was trial and error for me through these years. So I have a lot to share with you guys to help the process easier for you. Okay. Because, I just went for it, and I had to learn some things on my own. So you guys don't have to, do that. I'm here. I'm going to let y'all know. Any questions, DM me on Facebook or Instagram. And really Instagram. I answer on Instagram. I mean, Instagram and Facebook, the same thing, basically. Child, I could check the messages from Instagram on Facebook. So message me there. You can also leave your questions in the comments. And, and on Twitch, you can DM me and stuff. So I love you guys, and have a good rest of the Friday night. Bye. Oh, YouTube won't be watching on Friday. They'll be watching on Saturday. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.